Yo, what is up, folks? MTG here with Frogculus in MTG Arena Timeless. When I say Frogculus, that's the combination of Psychic Frog and Abhorrent Oculus. Pairing that's done really, really well in Modern. Is a little too underpowered for Historic and some of the more recent Arena formats with other cards. But here we have access to fetches and some really, really powerful instant sorceries. This pairing is very strong. Psychic Frog, it's been just a powerhouse in Modern. Does combat damage, draw a card. Discard a card to a player in Planeswalker, not just all the time. Discard a card for counters, and then exile 3 cards to your graveyard against flying 10 a turn. It's particularly powerful in Modern alongside Murktide, but still really, really good here. Just like being a threat that is in play, and then potentially gives you card advantage and evasion from the graveyard as well. Abhorrent Oculus is the new card here from Duskmourn, 2 in a blue. Cost of cash, you have to exile 6 cards. This is the bit that's kind of limiting it from being powerful in Historic. I've played it a little bit there. I've played it a little bit in Explorer. It is a bit more tricky to get that online, but when you do, it's a 3 mana 5/5 flyer, and at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you manifest Dread, which is look at the top 2 cards of your library, 1 to the graveyard, and then 1 to play as a face down creature, like a manifest token. If it's a creature, you can flip it face up. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then we're slotting this into like a blue-black shell. So we've got our Orcish Brewmasters here, and we've also got Tamiyo and Impulsive Student. I actually haven't put a video up with Tamiyo, I don't think. But super, super cool. Blue for an 03 with flying. When it attacks, you investigate, but when you draw your 3rd card on the turn, hint, hint, here's a brainstorm up here, you get to flip it into Tamiyo Seasoned Scholar. +2 creature attack, you get -1/-0, -3 to return instant sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. Really awesome recursion, especially with like powerful counter spells like Mana Drain, which let you get that extra mana to like play Oculus for single blue mana. Really, really solid. And then the -7 ultimate there. Draw cards equals the number of cards in your library rounded up. So half the number of cards in your library rounded up. And then no maximum hand size. So just like draw into a bunch of counter magic, just kind of get your opponent out of the game pretty much. And then we've got the blue-black disruption package. So brainstorm and consider, give us some smoothing, help us get Tamiyo online. We've got Spell Pierce here, is like the best piece of 1-mana interaction in the format pretty much, especially with all the show and tell decks. We've got Fatal Push for creature decks, and then we've also got Reanimates here. These can be used because we like discarding cards to Psychic Frog. You can discard Abhorrent Oculus do this and then reanimate it. Pretty cool with our own stuff, but it's also great because there's a bunch of decks in the format that are trying to do things with the Traxxas, put them into the graveyard. We're not playing Thoughtseize here because we're being a bit more proactive in time to try to place the board and play with counter magic, so both like casting hand disruption and holding up counter magic is pretty awkward. But if an Traxxas ends up in a graveyard, we can grab it out. Other than that, we're mostly grabbing our own stuff. We've got a bunch of good targets. In Modern, people play on Earth here, but in Timeless, we may as well go all the way and play Reanimate. Mana Drain. Not a lot to say here. Really powerful counter spell. Bit of Triumph here as a kind of really just like a solid answer to like show and tell Traxxas, like these big creatures like Gristlebrand, and then also dealing with problematic Planeswalkers, Teferi, and that kind of thing. Just like a solid straight up answer for those things. And then there's one thing that's stupid here, which sits on a mana base, just some extra disruption that also doubles up as a land when you need it to. Mana base itself, as I said, because we need the cards in the graveyard for Oculus, we're playing a bunch of fetches. 10 fetches in total with 2 Warrior Graves and 2 Undercity Stewards. Again, the City Stewards being able to fetch these to get more cards in the graveyard for Oculus is really, really nice. 1 Swamp and 2 Islands and an Ottawara here. Not going to sideboard, but we're going to take this into some best of 1 Timeless ranked. If you're not ready, please do subscribe to the channel. Do plan on doing a bit more Timeless stuff. We're still waiting for Pioneer Masters, but in the meantime, hey, there's been some nice developments in Timeless. And also, do let me know in the comments if you're interested in seeing more stuff, because I do want to keep making Timeless videos. Yeah. Please do like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Let's get into some matches. Alright, yeah, first match here with the Frogculus deck. That's the term I'm using for it anyway. Sweet. A slow hand here, but full of like pretty decent cards. I think because we can grab us a Veil and I don't feel too bad about keeping it. The double Oculus is a little like a mulligan, but having some insurance, that's the stuff is interesting what they take here. Swamp is starting into maybe not a combo deck. And if it is a combo deck, maybe just snap off the Mana Drain. But hey, anything they do take can and will be used to power up these Abhorrent Oculuses. If you're not interested in Oculus and not too worried, I think the best pick is Frog if you're not worried about the counter magic. Okay, I'm gonna take Mana Drain, so combo potentially on the cards. I'll put this into play. So we got 1 card in the graveyard now. We're going to be able to fetch for a Veil Land. If we then dump that card into the graveyard, that'd be 3 cards in the graveyard. Well on our way towards getting Oculus online. That's a bat. Okay. That's going to take the Bowmasters, you would imagine. Because otherwise, what's the point? Looks like our opponent's on kind of like mono black aggro deck. or some kind of a mono black disruption strategy. Likely with bowmasters of their own. Yeah, we'll grab sewers. And then we would like to dump this card into the graveyard. We definitely don't need more lands. That goes there. Nice. We drew into bowmasters. They know about these. I'm just gonna pass. It definitely implies that we've drawn something. It's unlikely they ever. If they have some kind of like not dead kind of effect to bring this back, that'd be unfortunate. This is a grief format, to be fair, but I'll respond to the thoughts he's with. It doesn't mean they'll get an opportunity to take the bowmasters, but that's totally fine. And more cards in our graveyard means more cards towards Oculus, which we will have the mana before shortly. Alright, so for now we get the bowmaster back. They now have to choose between the Oculuses. If you have a clean answer for one of these, maybe you take one of these. The most dangerous card in the hand is probably the frog, unless their deck's filled with more one-toughness creatures. In which case, hey, you know, maybe the bowmaster's great. But yeah. The other thing we need to worry about is like, we've seen Thoughtseize and the bat. That's not telling us a lot. We don't really know what our opponent's up to. I think, they're probably on some kind of, they're probably on a mono black strategy. But we could see another color appear suddenly. Almost like they could go like, oh yeah, turn 3 Necro or whatever, and we've been in trouble. Or even here, they could go Dark Ritual Sheoldred after this. Which would also be not great for us, I'll be honest. Not much going on. So now we're at 4 cards. Unfortunately, we don't quite get there with the Bloodstained Mire. They did see extra... Oh gosh. They did see extra Bowmaster, so know about that. I'm trying to move to combat here, which definitely seems like they've got like a Fatal Push or some kind of 1-mana removal spell. Or what's the exile card called? But yeah, if we go Bloodstained Mire and then fetch for it on the City Sewers again, we can absolutely like 100% get Oculus online for next turn. So go ahead and do that. We'll just hold the Bowmasters up. No need to commit it if our opponent has some kind of thing. It looks like they're stuck on 2 lands. Maybe that does mean they're on a 3-color deck and they're just not drawn the other source. They've not really shown us much. But yeah, we'll see. If you've not seen the mono black Necro style decks, I mean, in modern, then obviously they got hit with a grief ban. In Timeless, unfortunately, you can absolutely still grief scam people, and so the deck is really powerful. I do have a video out on that, so definitely check that out. That's kind of thing you're interested in, because it's the one format left where you can grief scam, and in Legacy as well. This is interesting. I think I'm gonna fetch, and then work out what I want to do with the. Oh, I surveilled it into the graveyard, didn't I? Ah. Yeah, I did. Well, this is awkward. Slider. I do still want to take a land though. We could like Bowmasters ourselves we could like Bowmasters our Bowmasters to get a token here. I don't think that's worthwhile. We'll just go face and carry on with stuff. It definitely feels our opponent's got something here. See what exactly they've got going on. I have a real bad habit to like want to start getting into games, especially if they're like long games they lose into like slouch back my chair and it gets me further and further away from the mic and the audio gets worse and worse. I need to try and get better with that. Brainstorm maybe our best draw, but hey. You can brainstorm Oculus here. I'm trying to think. They're stuck on 2 lands. I think we should try and close the game out as fast as possible. So I'm gonna cast this brainstorm, see what we hit here. Okay. Let's put these on top. I'm gonna shock. We have a mana drain, so I wanna just try and clock them in 2 turns. Or basically clock them this turn if they can't interact with this stuff. Alright, they're gonna skip it up. Feddies. Alright, second match of the Frogculus deck, yeah. What a black there, didn't do too much, so we're stuck on 2 lands as well. Speaking of stuck on lands, we have a 1-lander here. If we had a second land, obviously this would be the imperialism. If we had one of our 8 cantrips as well, but we will mulligan this. See if we can find better. This is decent. Like, probably putting... It's something to put the sync back, but it's also our only piece of, like, interaction for combo. So I might put back a bit of Triumph here. I think that's where I'm leaning towards. That kind of rounds us out against various decks. Lead Strand. You can like decide here between finding a surveil. Okay, what are they surveilling though? What kind of blue bear deck are we playing? Misty doesn't tell us anything, but I would lean show and tell based on this start. Means you want to find a counter spell, and we have like a couple of turns. We have like 2 turns to do it. So you already have to consider. I'm gonna find it. It is tempting to just like find and consider here. I'm gonna graveyard this because we already have one. And reanimate's like interesting. Alright. I mean, sort of. In a sort of interesting way. So if they're playing... Yeah, so you are playing the breeding pool. Demonic Tutor? Oh no. That can find show and tell or something to show and tell. We're in pretty dire straits. We need to find a land here for this. Or an actual counter spell. And because we have basic swamp open with it, unfortunately, we can't just get anything. And we can cast the Mana Drain off the sink, so we'll keep this. Okay. And we drew Ottawara, so we'll keep hold of this as our second counter spell here. Let's see what our opponent's actually up to. It is possible they're on not show and tell, but it is likely to be some kind of combo deck. The real concern is if they assemble, they spend this turn assembling. We can't do anything off the Mana Drain. I'm tempted to use the sink just so we use it. Or we could let this happen and then just Bowmasters. I kind of like the idea of that. Then we'd be able to find 2 things. They can like fetch and brainstorm response or whatever, but... Okay. Alright, so we've got 2 pieces of interaction. We can use this to find the surveil land, try and kind of level up our action a little bit, but we're in a tough spot. Ideally, when we're sinking, we want to sink into super a 3 mana thing. We want to sink into super the show and tell, because that costs them the maximum mana to then replay. Basic island. Yeah, I was like any cantrip. Oh yeah, okay. Still not revealed. It's not that exciting. Yeah, our biggest worry is that they have some kind of like Thoughtseize into show and tell play, or that they can hold up a Spell Pierce as well. So I'm gonna. Oh, because of the Spell Pierce availability here, I'm gonna Mana Drain this. The Veil? No way. Oh. Hexproof. Yeah, that'll do that. That's pretty good. Oh no. Yeah, I guess we're basically F6 at this point. I don't want to fully press priority, but welcome to Timeless. Veil is really good in the format. It's really good in this deck as well. I was worried about Spell Pierce, but Veil does all that and more. We could have opted to interact earlier here. Like, we could have like got rid of the assemble of the team. The idea is that, like, if once they've DT'd, like, they're gonna have the thing that they need anyway. Alright, Fair Wishes should close it out here. I'm expecting to see something along the lines of approach to the second sun into dig through time, or that kind of thing. It could be something else, who knows? But yeah. Well, okay, we see the approach. Approach is fine. Either way to find it. With like 7 cards in hand. That's one cantrip. Okay. Oh, we're popping. This Bowmaster's gonna get huge. Atraxa will unfortunately get there. Alright, 1-on-1. Get another match going. Alright, third match. We've seen the best deck in Timeless at Show and Tell, and unfortunately, we didn't have the right kind of interaction. We've also shown the power of Blue Back, but we've not really seen Tameo, we've not really seen the Frog, and we've not seen the Oculus. Even though game 1 we would have cast the Oculus. I'll keep this. Wait, no, that's not what I meant to do. Well, here we are. This is fine. I'll get rid of a bit of Triumph. Oopsie. Yeah. It happens. Yeah, we've not seen the Oculus, we've not seen Frog actually. The first match we would have cast the Oculus, but our opponent kind of scooped because they were dying to these two Bowmasters. Hey, looting, which to turn too late. So it could be something like Phoenix here. Could also be, well, I've not seen anybody else play Hollow One, I'll be honest, in Timeless. I've tried it, I've played it, I played a video out recently. But I've not seen anybody else do Hollow One stuff, so it is most likely some kind of Phoenix deck. And we do see discard Phoenix, discard Grief. Do they have a Grief to play? No. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to work out here whether I want to play this. I think we probably do want to consider. No, don't need to tank here. I consider here rather than finding a Surveil land because it puts more cards into our graveyard. Potentially. I wouldn't like this wouldn't be terrible to draw, but we're fine. Ooh. And hopefully we get to like get our Bowmasters off here for some stuff. They want to cast 3 spells. There are ways to do that. You can actually, with Dark Ritual, you can actually bring 3 Phoenixes back on turn 1. You can like go Strike It Rich. Grief's so annoying. You can go Strike It Rich into I'm gonna make the Bowmaster, I think. Yeah, sorry, you can go Strike It Rich into Dark Ritual into Buried Alive, and that puts 3 Phoenixes from your deck into the graveyard. The Phoenix deck is another just really powerful deck in Timeless. We're really seeing the best of the format here that we're playing against. Okay. Turns out they have a Fatal Push anyway. Okay, what do they exile as well? Actually, they exiled a Fatal Push too. So we're kind of Fatal Push flooded. Yeah, we don't have a lot left going on in the hand, but it is Timeless. We have a bunch of good draws. We've got 2 fetches if we draw Brainstorm. We've got Consider to draw into, and obviously we'll have Oculus and stuff online now. We do have the requisite number of cards in graveyard. Okay, that actually did resolve, so they can't, we're not getting Grief scammed, but they've gone Push, now, and, oh, they have Dark Rit, and then if they have an instant sorcery to play off of this, then they can bring back Phoenixes. Another Buried Alive, so that's probably dumping the, it's the first Buried Alive actually, so they're going to dump the rest of the Phoenixes, so they're going to bring back 4 Phoenixes to play. This is tough, for sure. This is hard for us to beat, and at this point you can say, even if we have an Oculus here, we're still dead to the damage. We drew a land. Well, you know, it's tough. Alright, 1 and 2 here with the Frogculus deck. I'll play a couple more, try and play in best sets of 5 where possible, though if the games go super long, then maybe not. But yeah, you see that this is actual the murderer's row of Timeless that we're getting. After a kind of soft game 1, which we did manage to win, Show and Tell, the Veil of Summer was too much for us to beat. I'm going to keep this, but it's a little light on interaction. But it is demanding our opponent interaction-wise. On a Castle, this might be the Necronominance deck. In which case, I think I'm fine fetching Ordery Grave, and if we want to, we can fetch basics later. I'm gonna make Tameo here. Demand our opponent's answer. We'll start getting some money. And then the Phoenix deck, and I kind of need. And if we had a Spell Pierce there, I'll discard an Oculus. Oh, this is like 8 rack. What on earth? I love the Bandit's Talent. One of my favorite cards they printed recently. But also, what? I wasn't prepared for this. We got a clue here. Nice. I'm gonna pass. Try and catch with the Bowmasters, I guess. But yeah. So this card, ECB, opponent discards a non-land card or 2 cards. Then it levels up. I'll let this resolve. If they're taking Oculus, we currently have 2 cards in the graveyard. Fetch because like pseudo 3. Whatever happens, they'll get a card here. They're gonna take the Oculus. We probably do have some kind of sweepers here. They're planning on playing a long game and back. That's fine. I mean, I'll play Masters though. We'll get a threat into play. It's pretty hype. Okay, Spell Pierce is nice because they could have like Liliana, stuff like that. Then we got fetches. We do want to be wary of like having the ability to keep cards in hand. Obviously, being able to surveil here, maybe draw, maybe play the Bowmasters. Spell Pierce alive. All good here. Yeah, one of the things about Timeless that people complain about as one of the, especially best of one in particular, is that the decks in the format are like wildly diverse in terms of their attack runs. Those two actually, Phoenix, while like you're dying to creatures, you mostly want to interact with like Spell Pierce and on the instant sorcery and counter the Buried Eye. If we had a Spell Pierce there, would have been fine and dandy. I'm gonna fetch before I play this, just in case. They are also stuck on 2 lands. Whereas like the aggro decks of the format attack on a completely different like plane. You need good answers for both. Or you can see like some pretty crazy enchantment stuff. There's a bunch of stuff going on. I'm gonna play this out. Yeah, we just kind of had the creature interaction, but didn't have interaction with the instant sorcery. So that's kind of the duality of Timeless. And we have the Brainstorm. I was about it before when I was playing Hollow on in Timeless. I just want to tapped out just in case they do have like Bowmasters. Okay. You got Tamio plus Consider plus Clue here. I'm gonna keep all of these. Actually, we might want to shuffle away the Bowmasters. To be fair. Yeah. They're on 2. This lets us flip it next turn. Let's do that. Let me hold up the Spell Pierce. You have counter magic for like Toxic Deluge or that kind of thing. Feel pretty good about our chances. Yeah, it's just one of the things we do in that direction. I'm gonna Spell Pierce this. Assume that they would have played the 3rd land if they had it. May as well get the clue. Do you want another Bowmaster? Not really. I'm just gonna find basic island that we can have the opportunity to cast the spell we find. This way we can now, even though oh wait, actually no, yeah. It comes on 2, so we can't immediately down tick and get the Spell Pierce. I'll hold these. We're looking at like a decent position now. Still need to actually like find a way to kill our opponent a little faster. Yeah. I'm gonna set a stop on upkeep because we can respond to this by drawing a card if we want to. Be mana efficient. Definitely don't want the Fatal Push. Can I activate this now? And then that doesn't deal damage. Okay. The down tick, grab Spell Pierce. swing in. I'm happy enough playing this. It's okay. Yeah, we have too much here. Okay, last match with Frogculus. 2-2 now, though like we didn't see like super high level stuff in the games that we won. In terms of like timeless power level, at least, like in terms of like just like powerful cards. I do like my mono black discard. There might be a place for that. We didn't really see any like we didn't really. In fact, both our opponents got stuck on lands. They're playing mono black. Just gonna run out Tamio here. We have double reanimate. Feel pretty confident in this. I'll do it this way. I'd rather have a basic island than a basic swamp.
If you need me, I'll be in the library.
I think Killers, we should reanimate it. Feel pretty good about it. But ooh, Inspiring Advantage. Does smell like burn. I'll go ahead and play this. Yeah, they just kind of let that happen. Like, do I want to fetch? At the moment, there's not another multicolor card I want to play. I want to play the frog, basically. I think given Inspiring Advantage, we actually do want to conserve life total and just not just fetch a shark here. Deal ourselves a couple of damage. And try a Psychic Frog. Ah! Oh my god. we've been had up here. That's tough. No. It's all fine. We'll redeem it. We're gonna reanimate a frog. Is reprise from Lord of the Rings? They can't just reprieve this. That's kind of okay. It's not the end of the world. You can also still flip Tammy this turn by brainstorming. Attack first just so that we get the clue out of it, but oh golly gosh, I was not prepared for this. This is what I want with my Game 5 experience. We do get reprieved. Yeah, there's no real point in me responding to this. I'm gonna brainstorm here. This is Flip Tamio. I'm kind of hoping to draw a fetch land. We got untapped land, but it's a blue land. Still no real idea if the sync's gonna be good. There's no reason to really have it up. But we also, I think if we put this back on top, we can fetch it away. Surely we don't need both reanimates. I'd like to keep hold of the Fatal Push because we don't really know what's going on over here yet. It might be some kind of like sick creativity deck. I don't know what to expect from. This is sweet. I'm gonna put the sync on top, and then kind of commit to surveilling that away. We get Tamio online.
Use your words.
I've got decent about this. This also, like, if they decide to, if they have an answer to the Tamio, we get to slam an Oculus and feel really good about it. Hopefully, this game will be able to showcase the Oculus and the Frog, of which we've seen not really either, to be fair. Oculus also pretty good versus Phoenix, but we were just a bit too late. Would have got us out of that other situation. Yeah, so Jarsyl is an alchemy card. Being come on your turn, cast a spell with mana value equal to its intensity from your graveyard but paying its mana cost. I guess they. And then it intensify by 1. So it's now intensify by 1. When did this get there? Yeah. So we have a choice here. We can pick something up. We can have some new stuff. I don't really want to leave this in play, but we actually don't have a great answer to this right now. We can crack the. It is into the sorcery. If we had a way to discard this, that would be reasonable. We can crackly push. We can. I think I'm like ticking this up, honestly. Looking for the -7. Yeah. I actually don't want this don't want them to get to do stuff with us. Okay, if we drew a land, that'd be sick. We're kind of turning this off in favor, and I still have to deal with a Tamiyo. This is gonna ultimate soon. The ultimate's pretty good. Yeah, they can't defeat the Tamiyo. They're just gonna keep it up. Alright, I said last match. We're currently 3-2, and we while we cast the Frog, and we were gonna cast Oculus game 1, we've not actually really done either yet. So running it back for a 6th match just to see if we can at least interact with them. But game 1, technically our opponent conceded to the Oculus, and then the last match we played, we cast Frog and it got reprieved and tithes and some other stuff happened. But hey, here we are. I'm gonna cast this as I'm just gonna pass here and look to potentially fatal push this. We'll see what goes on. Scalding Taunt. We've got Domains on the other side. This deck used to be very, very good in Timeless. Kind of fallen a bit to the wayside, but there's some great options. I actually have a Cat Hammer version of this, because you have like Wild and Cat or some other things. Ooh, the Carvus. These are both such a big problem. This at least is not massive. I'm surprised they didn't get Sacred Foundry, but maybe they have Stubborn Denial they want to keep hold of. Okay. We can maybe ambush the Wild and Cat with an Orchestra Masters. Sure. I'm gonna take 3. We're basically taking all the damage anyway. We need a black source. Yeah, I think this is right. We'll kill a Carvy. The Carvy gets us some extra advantage as well. It's got abilities tacked on there that are good. They might also just already have they might have like a Godless Shrine in hand or something. Crazy. We can still, no matter what, at least try and ambush this with the Bowmasters. Okay, solid. And if they don't have a black source or another land, then we could even play the Tamiyo as a block. Oh, that doesn't do it. That gives them black for domain. But yeah, so I'm gonna try and do this. We're gonna get like somewhat got here. But I'm gonna try and attempt this block. Ooh, no, okay. I thought they'd have like a lightning bolt or something to interact with that. Alright, that feels pretty good then. Also the Bowmasters. If we have Bowmasters up, we can make Tamiyo. Tamiyo's kind of interesting. Blocks as well. I don't expect them to have like good draw spells, but we can still do both. Obviously, we can get Swamp here and do this. We're just thinking about getting a Surveil land so we can stop ourselves getting burnt out. Try and dig towards some. Oh, they've got no more threats. They're gonna scoop it up. Right. Okay. I've given up. We have failed to land a Frog or an Oculus in play. I'm still gonna title the video "Frog and Oculus are great. Pioneer in Timeless together." And yeah, a little bit of a shambles here. We cast Frog a couple of times. We would have cast Oculus at one time, but Blue-Black's pretty good and Tamiyo's pretty good. We've at least shown that off. Yeah. These cards are really, really powerful. Our opponent conceded game 1, like they were kind of dead already, but Oculus in play, super, super awesome. Casting is quite awkward, but Psychic Frog also equally awesome. But as you kind of get around that, because you can discard it here and reanimate it and kind of sneak it into play a little bit. These cards play really, really well together. Frog is so good at taking over games, just drawing you cards after cards after cards. Even better in Modern with Murktide. We don't have Murktide on Arena. That's fine. Honestly, we don't need it. And we got to showcase like a couple of different, like really, really important matchups in the format, even if they were losses. Like, hey, if anything, we've shown how good Spell Pierce is a mana generator. Like ours, like these are the bits that are super, super good versus those decks in the format. And then we played against aggro there, and we actually got to like remove their creatures and get the block off, and then they kind of scooped up because they didn't have anything right at the end. But yeah, duality of Timeless. Hope you enjoyed the video anyway. And I assure you these cards are very, very good. Oculus isn't that applicable to other formats on Arena, just because it's hard to get the cards in the graveyard required for it. I played it a bit in Historic. I played it a bit in Explorer. And I've not actually played with it in Standard, but there are decks for it at least. It's just hard to get the cards in the graveyard required unless you're doing something really, really to just dump cards in the graveyard. So like Dredge and stuff like that. Do you have some Dredge stuff out with this? Check that out, please. Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting. And again, Tamiyo is awesome, for sure. And you can also play like Frog and Tamiyo in like a Lura shell and like get rid of these. Maybe that's something to look at. But yeah. I promise you the decks were really sweet, the cards were really sweet. We just didn't end up with them in play. And yeah. Thanks for watching. Please do like, subscribe, share the video around. I'd really appreciate it. And again, if you like timeless content, if you want to see me make more timeless stuff, please do let me know in the comments. Yeah, we've got Pioneer Masters coming soon. I kind of mentioned that before, but we're still trying to keep up with timeless and doing timeless stuff. As they add more cards to the format, as we get more special guests and bonus sheets. I do wish that every card that was added to the format wasn't just a mythic or like by default, but that's what we are. I opened a mythic Soul Warden the other day. That was cool. That I think is actually a common on Arena. But anyway, and yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out. Have a great day.